Okay, so we have with us again the Assistant Director for External Affairs here at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. Yesterday, he addressed the media with regards to the situation involving some civil servants not receiving their salary from GT Bank. And following the interview yesterday, late in the evening, GT Bank responded with a statement saying that they are not taking the blame for the fact that they've not been able to receive any money. So for that reason, they cannot just pay civil servants just as they receive. That's how they will pay. So this has prompted another response again from the Ministry of Finance folks. So welcome again.
Thank you, Yanti, and it is a pleasure again to speak to the people of Liberia as a follow-up to the press briefing we had with the media yesterday.
Many people thought on yesterday that you lied on the GT Bank for saying that government has since remitted the money for February, the salary for February, to begin paying civil servants, and now we are in March, and GT Bank come and say it's not true. How do you respond to this?
Firstly, we want to acknowledge GT Bank for the efforts they made yesterday after our press briefing to process payment to Jackson F. Hospital and other entities that have not been paid for the month of February. And that was after our engagement with you yesterday. This is the level of responsiveness we expect as a ministry. Timely action to resolve issues affecting civil servant salaries. However, we must be clear. What we are discussing here, Yanti, is not about March salary. We are discussing February salary. It is unfortunate for the bank to have said in their press release that as of this time, the funds for the reference civil servant salary payments have not been released through the appropriate clearing channels for disbursement. Those were the direct words. The issue at hand is the delinquency in the payment of February salaries for civil servants after those payments were cleared in late February. I'm saying all of the payments for February were cleared in late February. So those monies were remitted to GT Bank. The facts are straightforward. Payment for Jackson F. Doe's February salary, for instance, was processed and transmitted on February 23, 2026. So since February 23, 2026, it was expected maybe in 3 days that workers at Jackson F. Doe were to get a salary. It was on yesterday that GD Bank completed payment of salaries for people at Jackson F. Doe. Jackson F. Doe is just one of the many examples. Yeah. At that time, without prior notice to us here at MFDP and their customers, GD Bank said it was ongoing a system update. Who haven't heard about GD Bank complaining about that system? Who haven't heard about the rumors about GD Bank's system and all those things? So since February 23. It was yesterday those civil servants at Jackson F. Doe got their salaries in full. And we want to thank them. We hope that they can also do it for other ministries, agencies, and commissions. So the lack of communication from GD Bank to the MFDP about the quote-unquote salary or system update causes a huge, consequences. You remember on March 10th, the House of Representatives, through the Sergeant at Arms, ordered to see the living body of Minister Augustine Gaffron because salaries for them and their workers will be delayed. Right? And monies for workers at the House were sent to GD Bank on February 27. So March 10, the lawmakers said, but since February ended, we haven't got any money. And this ministry paid those monies to GD Bank on February 27. So how you will say monies were not remitted to you? So go to the House and ask staffers that are there and with GT Bank on when were their accounts credited. You also remember on March 12th, during the appearance of the minister, at the Senate, he was clear about challenges with one of the banks, and that was GT Bank he was speaking to. Right? So those challenges have been there, and we'll be going back and forth. Instead of GT Bank owning up to the challenges, they want to scapegoat the government, and this is sad. This is sad. Government has fulfilled its responsibility by processing and transmitting salaries on time for February. Payments were cleared successfully from our end through the electronic funds transfer system. The failures occurred at the receiving end due to system disruption within GT Bank during the update process, and they must admit to that. Right? This is evident because most banks successfully process payroll transfers during the same period, while those banks are not complaining. When the GT Bank transaction experienced consistent failures and huge delays. Therefore, the issue was not about the availability of funds as GT Bank want us to believe, but internal system challenges and a communication lapse on the part of GT Bank. Moving forward, let me say this. Moving forward, let it be made known to GT Bank and all other banks that MFDP will not accept delays or delinquency once Civil Servant salaries have been duly transmitted to any bank. Banks must take full responsibility to ensure their systems are fully functional, one, and promptly notify government of any disruptions that may affect salary payments. We expect continued effort, like what was demonstrated yesterday by GT Bank, by crediting accounts that they received payment for since February 27. Take responsibility, act swiftly, and ensure civil servants are paid without delay. A defensive posture will not resolve this matter. What is required is immediate corrective action by GT Bank, and they must face the system. Thank you.
What that statement on yesterday led to the public. Some think that the government was specifically lying on GT Bank, saying that they remitted this salary to GT Bank, given for the fact that GT Bank have come to respond to this. Is it something that you guys intended to take some corrective action, because government is a bigger institution and these banks falls under the government as part of regulatory measure that are being put in place by the Central Bank of Liberia? What exactly are you guys trying to do now, given that they back and forth coming at the moment? Mind you that perhaps we might see another statement coming from GT Bank.
Well, GT Bank has been largely a good bank. I would sit here, I've been a customer for GT Bank for many years, right? So it's just good sometimes when you have issues as an institution, admit to those issues. Yanti, you are in this town, you know GT Bank has issues. You know GT Bank changed people's account numbers without telling them. You know that people are now accessing all the electronic platforms of GT Bank. And what we do here is an electronic process. The electronic fund transfer is obviously one of the electronic platforms of GT Bank. It's not working. It was not working at all. So how you expect to get the money to pay people now? So why can't you respond to better? All the other banks were paid through that same system. They got their money and they pay civil servants. Only you because of your system issue. So why you can't take responsibility? How you expect the money to reach you when you get certain issue? You say, oh, the money didn't reach, also we didn't pay. So how you expect the money to reach you? You have system issue, fix your system. So it's not about going back and forth. We know last year they have been doing well.
Now they started with paying the Jackson Hebdo. What are other assurance that can be given?
Because
for all
they
of
are
us?
fixing their system and they don't want to admit that they are fixing their system. They are fixing their system and they need to do it in time, because everyone knows that GT Bank is fixing their system. They should fix their system in time, because everyone cannot bear it now. Government pay money for someone since February 23. Yesterday you paid them that LD. There are other people out there who are workers of government that haven't been paid. They must fix their system in time.
I'm not too sure that the government want to go back and forth with GT Bank. Should they fail?
We are telling them
to
to do what is right. The option will obviously be left with the civil servants is the one that's already to be delayed because of GD Bank system issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in a friendly tone, we want GD Bank to lead the bickering and fix that system. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.